Many modern gardens are surprisingly quiet. You can plant rows of bright, blooming flowers, but without specific biological triggers, the environment remains static. That changes when you introduce the right native plant, and the local environment wakes up. The issue lies in how we breed ornamental flowers. Over decades, growers have prioritized large, visually striking petals, often at the cost of the plant's ability to produce nectar and pollen. To bring your garden to life, we have to treat the space as a functioning habitat, rather than a visual decoration. The build requires a few specific components: a garden bed or balcony container, some native seeds, a shallow dish, and handful of coarse pebbles. Shifting your focus toward biological utility transforms even a small planter box into a vital resource for local insects. A habitat requires a reliable food supply. This means providing nectar for immediate flight energy and pollen to supply the protein needed for reproduction. Selecting native plants is the most effective way to meet these needs. Local pollinators have spent thousands of years evolving alongside these specific flowers, developing the exact physical traits needed to access their nutrients. For those in South Asia, flowers like marigolds, cosmos, sunflowers, and hibiscus are excellent starters. These species are naturally packed with the nectar and pollen that regional insects recognize instantly. Beyond the plant species, you must consider structural design. The physical shape of a flower determines which insects can successfully land and feed. In this diagram, a wide, flat flower provides a broad landing pad required by a bee's weight to stabilize and feed. Butterflies feed while standing, needing small flower clusters for a continuous surface. Hummingbirds seek deep, tubular blossoms, accessible only to long beaks. You can also signal to specific visitors using color. Bees are drawn to blues, purples, and yellows, while butterflies are frequently attracted to bright reds, oranges, and pinks. By selecting specific flower shapes and color frequencies, you are essentially writing a coded invitation to the species you want to support. A frequent mistake is planting a garden that blooms all at once. This creates a short-term glut of food, followed by months of scarcity for local insects. The solution is staggered planting. By selecting species that mature at different times, you ensure the ecosystem provides a continuous supply of food. This timeline maps your blooms. The first curve shows early spring flowers, critical for insects emerging from winter. A second summer curve overlaps the first, ensuring continuous nectar availability. The final curve extends into fall, providing late-season blooms vital for winter survival. Protecting this food supply requires a chemical-free approach. Broad-spectrum pesticides are indiscriminate. They kill the pollinators you are trying to attract, along with any target pests. Instead, you can rely on predatory insects. Encouraging ladybugs and praying mantises provides a natural way to regulate pest populations without introducing toxins. An overlapping bloom cycle and a chemical-free environment foster a resilient biological network. Here, nature begins to balance its own pest populations, reducing the need for human intervention. Caloric intake is only one part of the equation. A complete habitat also needs to offer safe hydration and nesting sites. Standard bird baths or deep bowls are often dangerous for small insects. The steep sides and deep water can easily lead to drowning. You can build a safe hydration station by filling a shallow terracotta saucer with a layer of coarse stones. In this cross-section, note the water level. It stays strictly below the tops of the stones, providing dry landing pads that allow insects to reach the water without getting their wings wet. This setup allows pollinators to land on the warm stones and drink safely, even in the hottest weather. Finally, you should designate a shelter zone in your garden, a corner that is left unraked and unmanaged. Leaving dried stems, dead leaves, and ground cover provides the physical space insects need to nest, hide from predators, and survive the winter. Providing reliable water and undisturbed debris creates the infrastructure necessary for pollinators to nest and establish a permanent presence. By coordinating native food, staggered bloom cycles, safe hydration, and natural shelter, you've assembled a functioning habitat. Colonization typically starts with a few scout insects. Within weeks, as more pollinators discover the reliable resources, the population begins to grow and diversify. Soon, the garden is buzzing with movement. You've created a space that successfully supports a wide variety of local life. These individual garden patches act as essential corridors, providing the necessary stopovers that native populations need to survive in an increasingly fragmented landscape. Meaningful ecological support starts with these small, deliberate choices. Subscribe for more habitat building strategies and start your own living garden today.